we all have our favorite TV shows, sitcoms, but now you can add local productions to your list, especially since our local industry is blossoming. So here on set we have Pauline Mack, producer, creator, and also actor of a new TV series called The Apartment. Pauline, tell me, who wrote the script and when was it conceptualized?
Well, The Apartment is something that I conceptualized a couple of years ago, and I wrote the script, but the final version that went to production, it was written by myself, Juliet McCauley, who's the director,
Yes.
and we also had a script consultant, Janine Charles-Ferry.
Okay, great. So after the script, after you finished writing everything, what was the next step?
Well, after I wrote it, because things actually, it's not such a strict chronological order,
Yeah.
because you go through different versions while you're in pre-production. But after I wrote it, I started to do like preliminary casting. I approached different actors and so on, some persons just based on the fact that they have a good reputation and I knew they would be perfect for the part in terms of look and persona and all of that. And then we had like a more formal open casting call. After that, it was like table read, we did like wardrobe fittings, makeup trials, and then we went into full filming production mode.
Okay, great. So that you will categorize that as pre-production.
Yes, the writing happened in pre-production,
Yeah.
but we had to fine tune and so on up until the last part of pre-production, just before we went into actual filming, because you want to make sure that everything is crisp and on point. And when you sit down and you have a table read with a group of actors, it sort of changes the dynamics and you realize you have to change certain lines and just format the script to the actors as well.
Okay, so let's talk about production now. Who are your cast and your crew?
Okay, well, my cast, the main cast members, the leads, are myself,
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Phillips, Michelle Nadia Abraham, Stephen Hadid Jr., Brett Bengoshi, and Russell Wilkinson Teet.
Okay, great. And how was the chemistry, the relationship with the cast?
Well, the chemistry is fantastic actually, because a lot of the cast members I kind of knew of, or I had a sort of like relationship with them before. For example, Jamie Lee Phillips and I, we were in an acting class for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then Brett Bengoshi, I had met him during castings and different things like that, as well as Russell Wilkinson Teet. The only person I had not worked with before was Stephen Hadid Jr. and
Yeah.
Michelle Nadia Abraham. This production was her first time acting, and she did an amazing job.
Yeah.
But Stephen is also quite versed, and he came on board and he just brought it to a different level. So the dynamics and the chemistry is really great, because we're all like we're similar age group,
Yeah.
and we all have a passion for the arts, and we're really positive about what we're doing, so we all got along really well on set.
That's great. And
Yeah.
what about location? How did you went out scouting for the apartment itself?
Well, that was the most difficult in terms of the actual locations to
Yeah.
find, because truth be told, the apartment is actually a townhouse in Maraval. It's not an apartment per se. And the reason I selected that specific space is because it was really scenic. I think a lot of productions in Trinidad, sometimes they focus on locations that are kind of gritty or grimy and they want that edge.
Yeah.
I actually wanted Trinidad to look attractive. I wanted locations that people had never seen before on TV,
Yeah.
or to at least capture it in a way people had never seen it before.
I think you did that through the
Yeah.
apartment.
Thanks.
I must commend you on that. And what about how long did you take to shoot?
Well, filming was actually 16 days, and we had like each day was
That's
like
actually
18 hours.
good.
Yeah, we were
That's
able to
amazing,
do
yeah.
how many pages? Like 49 pages in 16 days. It was crazy.
No, that's amazing.
Thank you.
And so after production, after filming, what was the next stage?
Well, post-production is actually the most difficult of everything, because one of the things that happened with me is I had never, prior to this, I've always been an actor,
Yeah.
so I never really understood the meticulous steps of doing a production. So I didn't know about sound editing and all those things. So I learned during that period. So we had to do an edit, then a sound edit, and then came the big thing that I had no idea existed. We had to send it to a colorist to
wow.
color correct it. I
I
didn't
learned
know about.
something new here.
Yeah, I didn't know about that process, so we sent it to a colorist in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
who gave us a really good deal and made it look even more attractive.
Okay, so the next phase, distribution. Tell us how you dealt with that.
Okay, well, we were very fortunate because we have an amazing marketing and distribution producer by the name of Janine Charles Ferre, and we sat down and we really thought about our product and what we had and how we wanted to market it. Yeah. And we decided to do a theatrical release in Movietown. Even though it's a pilot movie, we decided to have like that hype and to create that buzz. So we went to Movietown for 1 week, and then we went to CCN TV6. It was shown once, and then they had a repeat. Yeah. So that's in terms of distribution, that's how we approach it.
So what's the next step? What do you have planned for the apartment?
Well, a lot of things happened, and we sort of had to sit down and really strategize. And one of the things we realized is right now it's sort of financially difficult to do a TV series. Yes. So one day that will happen with the apartment, but for now we want to turn it into a film series, a trilogy. Okay. That's
actually good too.
Yeah, so the next step is the apartment part 2, all rooms occupied, and we are in pre-production with that project.
So you don't have any room for me, all rooms occupied?
No, well, that's the whole thing. It's going to have more characters, more bacchanal, more drama, more of the things that you love. So that's why it's all rooms occupied. It's kind of like a metaphor. Yeah.
Great. So, we're going to let Pauline take us behind the scene of her production called The Apartment.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, you could
We'll be doing a scene where my character, Ayana St. Clair, where she quits her job at the bank.
Actually, Pauline, can you go a little bit more this way towards the wall?
Is that the accounts that was supposed to be sorted yesterday?
So go back to
yes.
Camera set. Action.
I can't talk now, we're driving.
You are constantly making bad decisions.
We'll coordinate. I love you. Bye.
Yes. Hey, Jody, come go on that other side. Right there. And you're basically going to walk up, smile at her. We have a 3-day shoot, a 3-day night shoot, where we're filming a party scene, which means a lot of people, a lot of extras, and of course filming at night outdoors, which can be a little hairy, but it should be interesting and fun.
You guys are sort of like chatting hair.
Acting is not really acting. It's a paradox, like life. Acting is just really being, and it's always a challenge to let that go and just to be a character.
I'm just saying, we all know Michelle is emotionally invested in this job.
I think she deserves it. I mean, it's about time there's a little bit creative here. Got her props. She's the only one that deserves a step up.
Mm-hmm.